serious day out on the water, chasing the ultimate big one, these sort of trinkets in here that are pertinent to making a family day more enjoyable are easily removed. The rear lounge folds down and out of the way. The table here simply unscrews and gets stowed to the side pocket. The serious end of the town, the fishing accessories, the sounder and GPS get turned on, the deck wash comes out, and we go out in search of that big one. Apart from actually being out on the water today, but standing here at the boatyard, I can just show you some of the features that this particular boat has, or these style of boats have, to make that special day out on the water chasing the big one that bit more enjoyable. Boats have come a long way. Now we have things like pressurised salt water and sometimes freshwater deck wash, so we can clean the bait board down, squirt your mates if they're annoying you, but most importantly, a boat of this calibre you really want to keep clean and tidy. By the end of the day, with bait and hopefully some of the bycatch of fish, you want to be able to hose it off fairly quickly. So deck washers becoming a great part of the fishing boat. Another feature we'd like to look for in a boat of this calibre are live bait tanks. Some of us, instead of using plastics, also like to use live bait to catch fish. These need an area to be looked after to keep alive. Have a pressure pump that you can turn on and pump water through the tank to keep the fish in fresh oxygenated water. Some of our partners like to refer to these as the board for cutting a sandwich on, because not many fish are cleaned on them. However, for the serious angler, a good quality bait board or bait prep table or fish cleaning board is very important to have on board the boat. Very hard to clean fish at home without making a mess. Great to do it out on the boat with the likes of the saltwater deck wash and a good quality prep table. This one here is one of the best that I've seen. It holds your rods while fishing, yet also has plenty of housing on here with a non-slip deck to put the fish on while filleting the fish or preparing the bait. When you go out fishing for the day, especially in the blue water, there's a range of fishing techniques that you can use. Look, I'm no expert, but from jigging to spinning and also bottom bashing is a range of rods. Well, that's what I tell my wife. So we need to store these somewhere safely and securely while running across the bay, because we don't want the assortment of rods and reels floating around the cockpit floor getting damaged or becoming a safety risk with hooks and lures. So you might hear the term, this boat comes with a rocket launcher. Look, nothing to worry about, but it's a place above the cabin of the boat or the cockpit that houses your rods and reels. This particular boat has 6 fabricated up here to keep 6 of your best up top out of the way. Little tip though, when it gets rough, put an ocky strap around them to make sure that they can't bounce out. At the top end of the trailer boat market is some amazing products. This beautiful 660 Whitley Australian-made vessel certainly caters and is tailored towards that market. It really is a floating palace on water, yet has the options that it floats. Unlike a caravan, you can still fish out of it, but you can sleep 4 adults on it in absolute comfort, cook a meal, and spend a beautiful couple of days away. One of the great questions we often get asked here is, what is the expense of a boat? And we get a lot of comparisons to the caravan industry. And something like this that can sleep 4 adults on board and float rather than a caravan can be purchased for around $75,000 to $80,000 on the used market and has a new price of around $100,000. So comparable to a 6.6 to 7 metre caravan, believe it or not, they're all on par with one another. Yet you have greater flexibility with the boat. As I've said numerous times, it floats. Vessels of this size generally come with some fantastic design features. In this particular boat, we have a beautifully set up galley. As you can see, plenty of headroom, plenty of ventilation. We've got a metho stove here, which is more than safe, but also too provides enough heat to have a good fry up. Pressurised water and sink, believe it or not, even with hot and cold water. Some of us do like to know what our boats are powered by. This particular boat has a 220 horsepower, multi-point injected V6 stern drive, delivering excellent fuel economy, but at the same token, plenty of power on hand when the boat's fully loaded up to maintain a comfortable cruise speed of around 25 knots, converted about 35 to 36 kilometres an hour. Nice and comfy, without the bang. Thanks for dropping by, John Crawford Marine, and joining us down at the boatyard today. I hope you found a little bit of this information helpful and not too patronising, and just an overview, I suppose, of what this boating world has to offer for you. And I look forward to seeing you, if not down here at the boatyard, but down at the local ramp, launching your new boat and heading out onto the water. Thanks once again.
And do you think on a formal level that Marine Queensland or any of the organisational bodies should be promoting the lifestyle in a formal campaign, like a benefits campaign or a lifestyle?
That's very much our intention. I mean, it's really about giving people information so they can go and enjoy the lifestyle. Because, I mean, you know, we live in Queensland. Lifestyle is a big part of what we do, not only for people who live here, but for people who visit here. And I think it's really incumbent upon us to sort of understand the area in which we live. You know, if you look at Moreton Bay, for example, you know, a lot of people who live in Brisbane have probably never been out there, and it's a wonderful environment, you know. So it's really, you know, about us trying to give people information and give them the tools and the wherewithal to go out and really enjoy.
So do you think abroad, you know, maybe some of those New South Wales initiatives where they have the tri-boating and tri-sailing, where you could just have an event down on Moreton Bay? And
very much so, you know, the participation events, but also some of the tourism initiatives as well. Okay. You know, just go out and try a charter boat, you know, just some of those sorts of things.
And we're really fortunate where we are too. You know, if you go down to the Gold Coast and it's terrible weather, you're so secluded and protected down there that there's not huge waves coming over your bow and those sorts of things. So even if it's, you know, the weather's not great, we always go to the Gold Coast because it's great to just be out and safe and catch up with your friends, and you can always drop in somewhere and get a coffee if you want to.
That's right, it's very civilised.
It is very civilised.
Where can people find information? Where's some central points that people should, you know, gravitate towards to get information about all the levels of boating? Not, you know, maybe they want to work in the Riviera on a super yacht, or maybe they want to just look the part and just dress as a boatie. What can they do? Where?
Well, the Marine Queensland website.
The Marine Queensland website is a great place to start. There's lots of maritime safety websites where there's recreational boating guides. There's a myriad of clubs around that are always happy to help you. And the other thing that we also encourage people is just drop into the local boatyard. I mean, those guys live and breathe boating, and they're always there, you know, happy to help people understand how to get into boating and what to do and how to make their boating experience a really good day out.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing of getting into boating, and it all comes back down to it's a relationship of a personality. So between the clubs and the government initiatives, Marine Queensland, and obviously the dealerships, all have a vested interest. They all want to see boating grow and make sure that each family's safe, but most importantly, enjoying themselves.
Passing it on to the next generation.
Hope so.
Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you.
It's time to hit the water and check out this week's feature spot, Peel Island, situated just 5.5 k's from Cleveland.
Where are we off to today?
Peel Island.
Peel Island. Are we down at the boat club now?
Yes.
What are we going to do down here? We're going to launch the boat?
Yes.
Well, the kids woke us up this morning and said, Dad, Mum, it's a great day. Why don't we go out in a boat? So we've loaded her up. We're down now at the Moreton Bay Trailer Boat Club, and we're going to head over to Peel Island, a great spot which is protected from the northerly winds, which are forecast to come in this afternoon. So great place, a little bit of a swim and a picnic, a barbie lunch, and a bit of a relax for Mum and Dad. Let's go put this boat in the water and get out there for the day. This is one of the advantages of being part of a boat club. You're able to wash down your trailer brakes after getting the boat out of the water, and the great thing is it means while it sits here for the day, the salt's not baking on your brakes. Come, Jimmy, come, Ryan. run out from Manly is a breeze, and with the weather this good, we couldn't have asked for a better day to take the children out on the water. Everyone's hanging on? Let's see what happens. You're all right, guys? During the mid-19th century, Peel Island was used as a quarantine station for the colony of Brisbane. Sailing ships would anchor to the north of the island. The passengers would disembark on Peel Island for a quarantine period before moving on to Dunwich on nearby North Straddie. The island is also famous for the leper colony that inhabited the island from 1907 to 1959, when it was then discovered that particular strain of leprosy was not contagious. So we've just arrived in Horseshoe Bay on the southern side of Peel Island, and it's been a fantastic run across the bay, flat and calm, and the kids have had a fantastic time in the boat. It really is their first time in this boat, and so a little bit of preparation went into making sure that they were comfortable for the trip. So life jackets on, we made it a fun affair. Little Toby, well look, he's still asleep in Anita's arms. Children aren't aware of the noises that a boat makes, or the engine makes, or the motion of the boat bouncing over the waves. So just put yourself in their shoes for a little moment, just make sure that they're comfortable and explain to them what's going to happen. Don't just get into the power and hook along and expect everyone's just going to hang on and know what to do. Children don't, it's not a natural instinct. So some of the things that we've done this morning is just come out of the harbour nice and slowly, making sure that the children are aware that we're going to go faster soon. But before we put the power on, we just do it nice and gradually, making sure they're comfortable and listen to them. Ryan was saying go faster, and Jemmy was excited. So we just went with their own, their ability to let us know what they want us to do. But if we slow down, we'll ask you to slow down, make sure you do it, because if you go against their will, you'll find that the experience isn't enjoyable for them and they may not want to come out again. Where are we, Jimmy? Fraser.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you'd better go in disguise.
With 3 children on board, it's all about keeping things simple. So for a little portable barbecue, cook up some sausages, in a bit of bread, some tomato sauce, and everyone's happy. Simple, easy, affordable. Peel Island's now also known as a national park, so camping is no longer free and you need to book with QPS. Some excellent campsites around and protected from a northerly wind could make for a lovely weekend with the family. Toilet amenities are available up over the back here. One of the most important things though is no fires are permitted on the island.
On the southeast corner of the island is a rusty old wreck that still emerges a couple of metres from the water at high tide. This wreck is called the Platypus. She was a bucket dredge that in the early years of last century dredged out shipping channels in ports along the Queensland coast. She was built in 1883 and when decommissioned she was sunk to form a breakwater for the jetty off Peel Island in 1926. Well, what a spectacular day out on the water. The kids had a great time and Mum and Dad got to soak up some sun and enjoy just getting away from it all. Getting out on the water with your family is never too hard. There are a multitude of options available and you owe it to yourself to check them out. Go online to www.31.com.au/The Boat Show for more details on how you can get your family off to Peel Island.
Next week on The Boat Show, we set sail at WAG's, Royal Queensland Yachting Squadron's afternoon delight.
221 right cheddar, 225 right bell.
Plus more from your Boat Show panel. Until next time.